The purpose of this video is to alert the public to a potential situation that could arise in the near future. It is important to consider that this is an unsubstantiated conspiracy theory. Therefore, I think people should open their minds, but it is also crucial to be skeptical.
Project Bluebeam, or the Bluebeam Project, is the staging of a so-called unifying event that would mislead the people of Earth into accepting the New World Order. It is a complex theory, supposedly developed by NASA, and requiring a multi-stage process of implementation. There are 4 steps identified in this process.
The first step would be to disrupt the archaeological history currently accepted by our cultures. The purpose behind this would be to plant the thought in our minds that we have interpreted faith or history incorrectly.
The second step will sound even more absurd, but please hear out the theory and come to your own conclusions.
In the second stage of Project Bluebeam, our vast network of satellites and communications technologies will be utilized to create a holographic space show. Holograms of culturally relative religious figures will be projected across the planet. They will project our so-called messiahs in order to manipulate people into believing that religious, spiritual, and even atheistic beliefs are erroneous.
Unfortunately, interpreting step 2 of Project Bluebeam is difficult. Although religious symbolism could be utilized to mislead the people of Earth, there are other important themes that could be used instead. Other events that require some level of skepticism include global warming, which could be induced by HAARP, or also by the increasing solar radiation of our sun. There is also the astonishing possibility that our government leaders could induce a cataclysmic event that would be world-altering. This could also be seen as a rapture or prophetic event by many people on Earth.
There is one such conspiracy theory running wild on the internet right now. The idea that our solar system has a second sun is an intriguing possibility. It would certainly explain the strange government actions since the early 1980s.
However, it is also absolutely essential that people remain critical. This NWO or Planet X theory could potentially be true, however, it could also be a staged event. 2012 is very prevalent in our media. It seems very convenient. Be vigilant. Another likely possibility would be a threat to Earth in the form of a mock alien invasion. Paul Hellyer, a former high-level Canadian politician, spoke out against the idea that Earth was being threatened by alien civilizations. It is likely that disclosure regarding alien contact is coming in the near future. Do not be fooled, we are more threatened by beings on Earth than anything from outside our planet. Whatever the storyboard that will be set forth in Project Bluebeam, it is important to realize that the technological capabilities do exist. The holographic images can be projected from satellites onto a layer of particulate matter, such as sodium, that has been dispersed into the upper atmosphere.
After the old beliefs and religions had been shown to be false by their very own messiahs, a new world religion will be set forth as the real manifestation of religious doctrine. Naturally, the cultural shock resulting from any of these potential events would cause global unrest.
It is also possible that HAARP technology has the potential to create earthquakes, and even plant thoughts or concepts in the minds of the population. This certainly sounds far-fetched. However, further research into the HAARP technology raises many questions about its ability to influence the thoughts or emotions of people.
One might look into the long history of the sociology and psychology related to mind control and manipulation. There are disturbing things going on under the surface of our reality. Things are definitely not as they appear. The CIA has a long history of mind control experiments, such as Monarch or MKUltra, and this alone should indicate the will for such capabilities. Project Bluebeam is the culmination of this greed for absolute power.
Anyone who doubts such claims need only do a small amount of preliminary research into the covert operations that had been conducted by the CIA. Again, always question your government, always. By now, you must be wondering, okay, but what does this have to do with the cult of Scientology? Fair enough, and I will lay this out briefly because it is only in a hypothetical stage of questioning.
Those who are familiar with the New World Order will also be aware that it is some sort of satanic cult itself. Many high-level political and corporate members even perform mock human sacrifices in a place called Bohemian Grove. You should Google this if you are unaware or if you doubt our words.
Those who are familiar with Scientology are aware that the creator, L. Ron Hubbard, was also a practicing Satanist. Hubbard was very friendly with Aleister Crowley, who actually believed himself to be Satan.
There are also other bizarre Scientology New World Order connections. Firstly, there is a link between Scientology and alien civilizations. Also, Scientology is a brainwashing mind control cult, and some have speculated that it is a CIA experiment itself.
Members of Scientology are on a mission to clear the planet, and they claim to know. What exactly do they know? Perhaps we should ask Tom Cruise. It is amusing to note that in the Star tabloid it was alleged that Mr. Cruise was constructing a bunker at his Colorado compound. Furthermore, there are several not-so-secret Scientology bunkers. Perhaps they really do know something. Finally, the Scientologist Beck recently released a song entitled Chemtrails. Given the plethora of chemtrail/HARP activity being observed recently, it is interesting timing for its release. Speculatively, the song sounds much like a warning. Do they know something we do not?
In sum, the link between Scientology and satanic beliefs is troubling given the satanic basis of the New World Order, the totalitarian and brutal nature of Scientology, and how they brainwash and control their members, could be a disturbing glimpse of the future for all humans should Project Bluebeam become a reality.
Remember, Project Bluebeam wishes to unite humanity under a new world religion, a so-called golden age. Does this sound somewhat familiar? The parallels between the New World Order and Scientology are important. We must consider that Scientology is this potential manifestation of the New World religion. This religion is absolutely crucial for the New World Order, and we must be vigilant. Project Bluebeam could be a complete hoax. But what if it is not?
The greatest weapon against Project Bluebeam is awareness. It is likely many will be deceived, for their preparations are extensive. We must start by exposing Scientology, and also exposing the Nazi-fascist agenda of the New World Order. Currently, the best way to expose the NWO is to point out the extensive chemtrail activity, mention HARP, and talk to your friends and families about Star Wars missile defense, geoengineering and weather modification. Furthermore, the undemocratic integration agendas such as the Lisbon Treaty in Europe, or the Security and Prosperity Partnership, are good places to directly expose the New World Order agenda. Fight the agenda before resorting to the so-called conspiracies. Although the conspiracies are indeed real, people are programmed to believe otherwise. Skepticism is necessary, but after research, it must be concluded that some skepticism can quickly become denial. Above all, we simply ask you to question everything. Demand answers. The tyranny runs deep, but truth will expose it.